Hi guys, I'm Melissa. This is my first time making a video for this platform. So what I am going to show you guys, it's for anyone who wants to see it, to see what I go through every 48 hours, or to see for fellow fighters for pulmonary hypertension, what they could be looking forward to if they were to start IV Remodulin. IV Remodulin goes into a central line in your chest. I have it covered right now. This is where they went in. They tunneled a line through to come out, and then the rest of the line goes into my heart, into the right side. And the medicine goes through. From your pump. What I'm going to be doing today is showing you how to refill one of these. It has about 3 foot of line, maybe a little more, give or take. And the cassette holds 100 mils. Now, not this video, but another video, I will be making a video to show you guys about the pump. So I'm gonna get started. You will be given, excuse the pink and everything on here. This is my first dosing chart. This is a dosing chart. It will have the date, the rate that you set your pump to, your dose that you will be on, concentration, and the concentration of the medicine, and the concentration of something called diluent. That basically tells you need, for my dose right now, I need 2 mils of Remodulin and 98 mils of my diluent. Now this is a very strong medication, so it has to be diluted. And that is diluent. And you will be given 2 of these. I have my other one right here. Then if you see me throwing stuff down to the left side of me, that is my trash. Because I try not to leave anything near me. You're gonna have these right here. You can't really see it, but they're called spikes. It is the little top right here. Has this on here. And this is my little bottle of Remodulin. It holds 20 mils. And in the diluent, those are 50 mils. So the little toppers, I have 2 of them, one for each diluent. I have 2 50 mil syringes and 1 5 mil syringe. This is to pull the Remodulin, and the other 2 are to pull the diluent. On my table, I'm also going to have my cassette and my IV line. And I also want to be sure to use alcohol wipes. You're also going to need a case knife or a butter knife, whatever you like to call it. You need a coffee cup. This is me and my wife. And Remodulin sent me these in a book, little coins. You can use these, or you can use any kind of coin, like a penny, nickel, dime, or whatever coin you use in your country, if you're watching this outside of the US. And you want to make sure everything is clean. So I'm going to put sanitizer on my hands. Make sure everything is real good. And then I'm going to take an alcohol wipe and I'm going to clean my coin. Throw that alcohol wipe away. Every alcohol wipe has one purpose. And then I'm going to clean my knife. I'm going to clean my cases. But But I'm going to start off doing my coin. Clean that real good. Throw this alcohol wipe away. Take my knife. Alcohol wipe. I should also mention that I have everything on this white drape. It is a medical drape that the specialty pharmacy will send you. And every time when you order your supplies, make sure you ask for them. They come in handy. All right, I've got those clean. Now I'm going to open my packages and we're going to leave everything in the boat. What I mean by boat is the clear plastic part. Don't touch it. You want to keep everything as clean as possible. If anything touches out of anywhere it's supposed to be, such as the boat, you want to wipe it with alcohol to get it all cleaned up. We don't want any contamination going into our body and through our lines, because our lines are very sensitive. We are at a higher risk of developing an infection in our line, so we have to be very careful. And in your cassette, you'll get something that looks like this. You don't really need to worry about it right now. This will be for a later date. And this is your cassette. Just leave everything in its boat. And here's my IV line. See how I'm not touching anything? We want to keep it as clean as possible. Now with this, it's going to be a little bit of a different story. We're just going to open it halfway and take out the paper that's in there. So it'll look something like this. Sometimes these are a little. It also definitely helps if you open it the right way. Because, see, I could have opened it right there. Right. Now that I got all those open, I haven't cleaned my Remodulin or my diluent yet. What I am going to do, since I handled all of the outside of these, is I'm going to sanitize my hands again. Some people say, oh, you're doing too much. But I'd rather do too much than get an infection from anywhere. So, just also make sure you wash your hands before you sit down to do this. Because anytime you can wash your hands, it's great. Open this, pop open the top. And then I'm going to take an alcohol wipe. And I'm going to take this and rub it for about 15 seconds. 10 to 15 seconds should be good. Don't mind the clock behind me. It doesn't work. We just haven't taken it down. Remember, throw away the alcohol wipe. Get a new one. Because you're going to a new bottle. And do the same. Now, it's a lot of cleaning, and it's important that you clean. I'm gonna take like this for about 15 seconds. I kind of guesstimate 15 seconds. Now we're gonna take the top, what do I call it? I call it something. Spike. And just push down. And I'll show you how. Just has a little spike in there. Just push down. You'll feel it or hear it click. Here's the fun part. Alcohol. I told you, you're going to be using lots of alcohol wipes. What I do is I take about 10 wipes. I get everything I need, and gallon Ziploc baggies. I take everything I need for one cassette change. And I put it in a gallon size baggie. So that way when it comes time, all I have to do is grab the baggie and I'm set. And sometimes I forget which bottle I cleaned. So sometimes I get cleaned twice. All right. A little uncomfortable. Okay. Now, when you draw liquid into a syringe, you want to draw air into it first. And it always helps if you prime your syringe. Priming is just pulling back and pushing. Now with mine, I only need 2 mils of Remodulin. So I'm going to pull air to the 2. I'm not for sure how clear it is for you guys. I'm going to take my Remodulin, twist and you can see gravity kind of pulls a little bit of liquid in there. I'm going to take it, push the air up, and slowly pull. We want to get out as much bubbles as we can. And when I say bubbles, I'm not for sure if you can see them, but there's little bubbles on the black part. This is where the case knife comes in hand. You're just going to hit it. You don't have to be gentle. And just pop those bubbles. And I forget what kind of force it's called, but gravity, that's what I'm going to call it, pushes more into there while you're not securing that. So I'm just going to push it back up to 2, secure it, and take it off. So I have 2 mils. I'm going to put it back in its boat. And 100 mils is going to fill in that cassette. So we need to make 100 mils. We've used 2 mils of the Remodulin, so we're going to use 98 of the diluent. I prime my syringe. This first one I'm going to pull down to 50. Here's the fun part. You push that air into there and get that liquid out. Sorry about the dogs. So I'm going to pull, this is what I do because bubbles get everywhere in here. I am going to pull all of this liquid in here. And I'm going to secure my syringe and pop the bubbles out. Okay. All right. So this is the one that I need 50 mils in. So I'm going to push slowly back up until I get 50 mils. And secure it. Twist off. That one was kind of leaky. It's been happening to me sometimes, but that's okay. Right on the money. And I'm going to do the, oh, got a little bubble. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing, but since I got 50 and 2, that's 52. So now I only need 48 mils. I'm gonna pull air to the 48. Not sure how you can see it. Just 2 lines above the 50. I'm gonna put my next bottle on. And I'm going to do the same exact thing to get the bubbles out with this one. Pull all the liquid in. Until I have an air bubble up top. Take my knife and beat the bubbles out. You don't want any air bubbles getting into your line or getting into your heart. I had a bubble a couple weeks ago. It was actually the night my wife, my mother, and we went to go see Journey in Dallas. And my wife and I were on our way to pick up my mom. Sorry you're finding out like this, Mom, but I got a weird vision in my eye. This was after I had an air bubble. It was in my line in my chest, so there was nothing I could have done to get it out. I called my pharmacy, called my emergency nurse, did everything I was supposed to. But they pretty much said there was nothing I could do. And nothing would happen. Well, I got this really weird vision in my eye, close to my mom. And if I closed one eye, I could see clearly. And if I opened my eyes, I could see double vision. But if I closed the other eye, it was clear again. I told my wife, I said, babe, I think we need to pull over and you need to drive. She's like, why? I was like, I'm having a really weird vision in my eye. She's like, is that what you're doing? Because I was making all kinds of weird faces. But I was at a red light. I was like, yeah, I think I'm seeing double. I can see clearly if I have one eye open. She's like, that's really weird. So we go and I pull over and I kind of close my eyes for just a minute and I open them and it was gone. I could see clearly. I could see clearly now. Yeah. So that was really weird. I'm chalking that up to that being the bubble in my line, but who knows? Okay, so this is my cassette. Got a blue button here. You want to leave that on until you're ready to connect it to your pump. You'll get 2 of these bad boys. So you got little feet right here. 1, 2. Your line goes down the middle. And if you look, there's a little plastic bag inside. And that's what's going to hold your medicine. Okay, so, sorry. So, this is your lock, and you want it to be free. Just let it go. We're going to take this white part off. Keep this part in your hand. Do not drop it anywhere. If you accidentally drop it, take an alcohol wipe and wipe around it. Do all that fancy stuff and let it dry for a minute. And then afterwards, whichever way it's happening, just make sure that you put whatever's next on there dry, because the alcohol will lock it, and Remodulin is like super glue. There's something on the line that goes between the line itself and the IV line. It's called a Q-site. It's kind of a connector. Mine got stuck on there a couple weeks ago. And oh, is it hard to get off? My training nurse told me to get a hot rag and just kind of hold it around. I dipped it in some pretty hot water and wrapped it around it, and it helped a little bit. I actually had to end up getting pliers. Okay, I've got the Remodulin pushed in. Now I'm going to take my first diluent, put it in. Don't put it on real tight, just put it hand tight. And then this is where the fun comes in, because you get to use your table again. And it's okay to just let this fall. It's not going to break. You don't have to be real gentle, except for your table. And all of the medicine is falling in. Now this is where you want to lock it. So just pull. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of mix it. It's best if you have your Remodulin in one diluent instead of 2 diluents and then your Remodulin, so that you have a better mix. I'm just going to kind of twist it around. Just kind of mixing up those liquids. And then I'm going to untwist and twist on the other diluent. Sorry. Unlock. And push. Now you're going to get a lot of pushback in here because there's that big giant air bubble. When I say pushback, this is what I mean. If you have that blue down, it's just going to fill back up. But if you have it the other way, it's going to get air. So we want to push that medicine in there. Push, 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 and lock. So we're going to kind of do a mix again. And this is when your coffee mug is going to come into play. That was a great day. We went to the Japanese garden in Fort Worth. It's a beautiful place. If you haven't been, springtime is definitely the time to go. Okay, I'm just going to kind of mix it around. And you want to trace very slowly that bubble and get all of the little bubbles you can. Let me show you. See the little bubbles? You want to pop them all. By gently tilting and moving your cassette around. And make sure you keep an eye on the bottom and the sides. Make sure you get them all out. You don't want any bubbles in there. Okay. No bubbles. Okay. Now this is how my nurse taught me to remember blue to the sky. So the blue part's gonna come up because right in here is where the medicine comes out and it's where the air is gonna exit when I pull it. Okay. I'm gonna hold this because this air is just gonna come puffing out. So unlock it. And then as we're letting this air out, I'm gonna stand up so y'all can see this better. I'm going to hold my line upside down. You're gonna see air leave here. And you want to watch for that medicine to come through here. And it'll eventually come up here. I say eventually, it'll happen pretty quickly. And you have a little black line right here. As long as it's below this very first line right here, you're good. But if you have more than that in the syringe, you need to get it back in there. So, I'm gonna start. Slowly. Okay. I'm gonna pull my syringe back. You can see the medicine. And pull. Pull tight. And see, I have some liquid in there, but it's below that first line. Congratulations, you just watched your first cassette be filled. Shoe fly. All right, so this is gonna be your next pump. You're gonna get 2 of them. You want to pull this one out and still leave the one that you're using connected. Don't take it off, don't turn it off, don't do anything until this one is already running. So, I said I was going to do a different video, but I think I'll just show y'all here. So we're going to turn it on and off. Everything's going to be held. And you're going to see it run through a bunch of different sets. Just manufacturing step things. And there are some things on here that we don't use. Different patients use this as well for different treatments. And there's just a couple settings on here that we don't need for pulmonary hypertension. Pulmonary hypertension patients also use a medication called Velletri or Velletri. And that beautiful sound is saying that it's on. So you're going to come to your dosing chart and you're going to see something that says rate in milliliters per day. And you're going to see some random numbers. My first day was 24 and today we needed it 41. So since this is on, we're going to do what my nurse called climbing the tree. So we're going to go up. And since we've already done this one, the next one is next. Okay, so you see reservoir volume. This is going to be your cassette. Whenever I took it off, I still had medicine left in my cassette. I had 16.7, yeah, mils. We don't need that anymore, so we're going to clear that out. And when I say clear, this is clear and enter. So it's back to 100. Now we're going to hit next again, like we're turning the page. It says continuous rate. I'm at 41 right now. So, and I'm continuing with 41. So I'm going to hit enter clear. And then next, turn the page. Next is given. Mine says 81.80 milliliters. That's how much was given to me from the last cassette. So from this new cassette, none has been given to me. So I'm going to clear it out. And that's going to be the enter clear button. So we're good to go. Then you're going to go to the next page. And then this says air detector off. We don't need that setting. Then we have upstream sensor off. We don't need that setting. Stopped. Okay. Now we're going to do what's called priming the line. And you can go ahead and set this to the side. It beeped just to say, hey, don't forget about me. Take your IV line. And while you still have that last syringe attached to your line, just undo this. This is a filter, a bubble filter. This will help any bubbles escape that come through this line. This side is always going to go to your heart. My line has a blue on the top and white on the bottom, but the colors change. It just depends on the batch. So we're going to take the line that does not have the filter and take the clip top off, and it looks just like that. You're going to remove this, don't let it touch anything, and attach just like that. Now we're going to take our coin and this little bad boy right here, we are going to set him down. And with the IV still in my hand, I'm going to unlock that bad boy and he pops out. This is just kind of a protection case for your sensor, which is right here. Now, the blue part. You can take this blue part off now. And then you have little silver things right there. That's where your little feet are going to go in. So just going to pop in. You're going to press it down. Put some good pressure. And get your key or your coin and lock it back. You're going to press in, turn towards you to lock it, turn away from you to lock it. And ta-da! Now we're going to do what's called priming. And I'm going to take this time right now to write down the time on a little piece of paper that you'll get to put onto your cassette. And for the time right now, not for sure the time right now. It's probably close to 7:15. I'm going to go with 7:15. That sounds good to me. And it wants to know what time you made it. Time mixed, I'm going to put 7:15. 17 p.m. And there we go. Now, we're going to prime the line now. So you're going to hit prime and hold it. You'll go beep, beep, beep. Lift your finger and do it again. 1, 2, 3. So here we go. High pressure. That means something is locked. I do this all the time. Just unlock it. What you want to do is wait for that liquid to come into the blue part. It takes about 12 to 13 cycles. And as you hear that noise, that's one cycle. And once it gets to 10, you have to lift your finger and push it down again. See, it stopped. Not for sure if you can see it, but there's liquid in the top. So now, I'm going to take off this blue part right here. Hold on. This is when you're going to add it to your line. I'm going to just barely be careful. Family guidelines and all. I'm going to lock my line real quick. Okay. And I'm going to take the old one off. Just like this. And take this blue part off and shake. Because remember, I told you this stuff is like super glue. You don't want them to get stuck. And there you go. Now that we have that, we're going to hit start. And once it goes through that, what I do is unlock my line up here. And it will say run. It says I have 98.5 mils. So we're good to go. Now all I do is take my sticker that I filled out previously with all of my information. Some stickers look different, so I'm not really explaining it to people because my company does it one way than other companies. Pharmacies, that is. So, there we go. There's your new pump cassette. And also, I have to change batteries today, so I'll do that off video. But thank you for watching, and I hope this is knowledgeable enough for newbies. And maybe I taught somebody who's been on it something longer than I have something. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if there's anything that you would like to explain better. Have a great day.